Cleaning and protecting a matte vehicle from A to Z.
Hi, I'm Ivan.
I'm Nick.
This is DIY Detail. We have this wrapped Rivian here. It has a matte wrap on it. But whether it's matte paint, matte wrap, the techniques are the same. We're gonna go through everything from a wash all the way to a coating to make sure it's easy for you and safe to protect your matte vehicle.
You may have a matte vehicle, maybe you're a detailer and you wanna learn how to do this. You might not have a matte vehicle, you might not be a detailer. I would suggest you watch anyway because you're gonna learn a lot. If you care about vehicles, it's nice to be on this journey. Ivan, you've got some knowledge about matte vehicles. You've been doing detailing for just a couple years?
Yeah, 40 some. But nonetheless, matte vehicles are not as complicated as people make them out to be. Some people think you need special products and you need special things for a matte vehicle. You don't. It's clear coat, or in this case, it's a wrap, or it's PPF. Gloss PPF, matte PPF react the same to cleaning, etc., etc. You don't need special cleaning products and you don't need special coatings for matte.
So a matte wrap, a matte vehicle, what about matte PPF?
Same thing. So this is matte PPF on this. I
Exactly.
called it a wrap, but it's a matte PPF. So we have matte PPF, whether you have a matte wrap, matte PPF, or matte paint, the techniques are all the same.
I only ask that because we get all these questions and I'll send them to a video about matte and they'll be like, but it's PPF. And I'm like, no, this is the same thing. Follow along, these principles will be the same regardless. Ivan, what do we need to know about cleaning? We're gonna get to ceramic coating.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to some of the details here, but what do we need to know about cleaning to start with?
The cleaning process is the same as every other car that we do. First step we need to do, Nick, is get some chemical on there. We're gonna be doing a rinseless wash today. So rinseless on the surface to start it emulsifying the dirt that's on the vehicle to break it down, just like any other vehicle. So we call this the chemical rinse chemical. If we were using a foam cannon, we would be foaming the vehicle right now. I'm using this garden sprayer. You can use any type of sprayer you want, as long as you're putting rinseless on the surface. It could be a spray bottle, it could be a fancy keg, it could be anything you need.
As Ivan's putting that rinseless wash on the surface, take a look at these bubbles here. It's actually encapsulating the dirt, so these bubbles are kind of brown, they're kind of dark. You can see it's suspending what's on the surface. That's the technology of rinseless wash. We want to emulsify what's on the surface first, then we're gonna rinse it off with water, and we're gonna put rinseless wash back on for a lubricated wash step. Again, same principles we always teach here at DIY Detail. If you're new, subscribe to the channel. We focus heavily on education here. If you haven't tried this before, this process works. Leave your questions in the comments. We answer them all, folks. But yes, chemical rinse chemical. It works on vehicle after vehicle. So Ivan, the dirt is being encapsulated. We saw that on the hood, sort of like brown, dirty little bubbles. They weren't beating exceptionally well. We're not talking about protective paint. We're just talking about dirty paint.
Yeah.
Rinseless wash is step one.
Step one. Now, before we rinse this off, I'm gonna be adding all clean to the surface to deep clean it a little more, because we can't polish this. You can't polish a matte surface. That's the only difference between a gloss surface and a matte surface, and we want to deep clean it as much as possible. That's where we're going to be introducing all clean onto the paint. Normally we don't all clean the whole vehicle, but in this case we will. This PPF leaves a little to be desired. Let's just say it wasn't the best install ever. So we're gonna help it as much as possible.
Why do rinseless and then all clean with no rinsing in there? What's the thought of Ivan right now?
Right now, the rinseless has done a great job of suspending the dirt. This is going to attack a little deeper into that matte surface. So we're gonna brighten up the matte surface. We're not gonna make it glossy, we're gonna clean it. And this is gonna help us do it before we do the contact wash. And while we're there, we'll get the wheels and tires, of course.
You're not avoiding the glass, but you're not getting the glass. It's sort of not the priority right now.
Well, I'm not gonna waste product on the glass. Now we're gonna let this dwell for a minute or two, and we can see what it's doing. It's bringing down the dirt even more. It's getting the dirt out of that matte surface. So that matte surface, if we were to look at it under a microscope, it's not as smooth and as glossy as regular paint. So basically what we're doing is we're digging down deeper into it, making the next steps easier and also making it so that the decontamination towel with the iron remover, yes, we're going to use the quad-fold towel on this, but making it so that the quad-fold towel doesn't have as much resistance.
If this were a black matte vehicle in direct sunlight, I would be scared that the all clean might stain it. Is there anything to be concerned about there?
No, that's why we put the rinseless wash on first. So it's acting as a buffer in a sense. Okay, and it's starting to dry, so means it's time to rinse. But we can see here in the bubbles how the dirt is being suspended and taken down. Time to put a little more rinseless on the surface, and then we do the contact wash.
So the chemical rinse chemical, Ivan, we put the chemical on, we rinse it away.
Right.
We put it back on. This is gonna give us lubrication for the wash step. Why don't we just ignore this step and just start washing?
It's not safe to do so. We want that extra lubrication. We want the extra cleaning power as well.
And what's this contraption you're using to get the rinseless wash on the surface? Can I just use a spray bottle, or do I have to, have a big garden sprayer?
This is a battery-powered garden sprayer. It really doesn't matter what you use to get it on there as long as you're getting the chemical on the surface. So yes, you could use a spray bottle if you wanted to. In my wash bucket, I have my legacy sponge. I have 5 gallons of water, which means 5 capfuls. If you don't have a cap, it'll be 2.5 ounces or ½ ounce to a gallon, or 4 milliliters to a liter. Don't be tempted to put more. More is actually not better. Then same thing in my wheel bucket. Actually, this is quite a large vehicle. I'm gonna use the brush for the roof.
I was about to get on the step ladder, so I'm glad to hear that the perfectly safe brush is in the arsenal. Okay, Ivan, they love their car. They're watching us.
Yep.
Do they need the perfectly safe brush? Do they need the legacy sponge? Do they need rinseless wash? Like, give me what I need and what I don't need. Because I'm following along, I'm learning things from DIY Detail, but I'm like, man, do I have to adopt all this new stuff that I've never heard of?
Not necessarily, but you need one form, at least one form of wash media. Depending on the size of your vehicle, you may consider the perfectly safe brush. It's a great alternative, especially for a big vehicle like this. Even, I'm on this platform and I'm just now at a comfortable height. It would have been a little difficult to do this roof even without the platform. But if I'm dealing with a smaller car, the sponge is great. I don't need the brush. It's figure out what works best for your vehicle in your situation.
Some folks may have like a microfiber wash mitt, right, with all the little fingers.
Yeah.
That's actually not great for rinseless washing because the microfiber does a great job at grabbing dirt and holding onto it. It doesn't release the dirt very well. So that dirt that you grab, you try to release it in your wash bucket, it stays on those little fingers. So what's great about the legacy sponge and even the perfectly safe brush, Ivan, it grabs the dirt and then it releases it back into the bucket, right? So it's worth,
right.
People out there may have something already and be like, I don't need any of this stuff. But there's a reason for it, right?
Yeah, and those wash mitts, the noodle style or chenille wash mitts, they're actually not the safest wash media, whether it be soap or rinseless wash. And since I had the brush in my hand, I'm just going to continue with the brush. So always work top to bottom. Once you're done a section, dunk, and start the next section. Being careful to go everywhere on the surface. And the brush is nice because you can get under here quite far, quite easily. Now the plastic on this brush is extremely soft. It's softer than the paint, it's softer than this PPF. So even if you hear me hitting occasionally on the base of the mirror, that's not going to cause a problem. And I can get right up in there without an issue. The secret to washing safely with the brush, start at the top, work the way down, but that's any wash media, not just the brush. The bristles on this brush are a nice flag tip nylon bristle. They're extremely soft. They're soft to the point that if you have a vehicle that's very dirty, you might have to go over it twice with the brush because they're not aggressive enough to lift heavy dirt.
I usually save the front bumper till last. It's kind of a spring and summer thing, which you're probably watching this in the spring or summer. In the wintertime, you're not gonna get the bug guts as much, so it's not as big of a deal to save the front bumper till last. But what we have here is that chemical, right? And we talked about rinseless wash, emulsifying, suspending, breaking down, and then we rinsed it off. And then I told you we use rinseless wash the second time for lubrication, but it's still doing the same thing. It's still breaking down the bug guts. And again, that's kind of why I tend to save the front bumper until last. Ivan, thank you for using the perfectly safe brush on the front bumper for me.
Yeah, the brush allows us to get really low into the underside of the vehicle quite easily, so we're not having to bend down as much.
Some say it's a back saver.
It is,
Perfectly
definitely.
safe brush.
Yep.
And did you get the entire roof?
Yes, I did.
Sweet.
Entire roof, entire hood, and entire back end. And the brush is also a little quicker too. When you're done with the brush, you want to dunk it, clean it out, and then hang it up to dry. You don't want to put it on the floor, obviously, and you don't want to compress the fibers or the bristles so they get bent out of shape. Just hang it up nicely on the wall. We happen to have a hook right here for it. So now, Nick, we're done washing. But now it's time to decontaminate. If we were just washing the vehicle at this point, start drying. Nothing more to do.
If I have a matte vehicle, that's how I wash it.
You're done.
Simple.
Yeah, but we're gonna be doing decontamination as well. In decontamination, our first step of decontamination is iron remover with the perforated synthetic decontamination or the quad fold towel. We leave on the surface the rinseless wash, and then, very simply, one spray of iron remover on the towel, one on the panel. Where I sprayed on the panel is where I match them up, and then I go. Now, normally we go by sound, but on a matte PPF like this, that sort of scratchy sound is gonna stay at all times. So we have to go by feel more than by sound.
Now, what about by sight, Ivan? I'm looking at little dots on here, and I'm wondering if those are in the PPF or if those are pieces of contamination, but they don't look orange. You know how usually you'll see little orange spots? You'll be like, oh yeah, that's contamination on my white vehicle. I mean, this is not the world's best, I hate to say it, the world's best PPF job. So I don't even know what I'm looking at, Ivan.
They might actually be under the PPF, Nick.
Right. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Not to put anyone down. It's just, you know, we're professionals. We go by what we see and our experience. And I'm like, this seems a little strange to me.
You get what you pay for. And this was a PPF job that not the best quality in terms of little things like this. Come have a closer look. So if we look around the mirror base here, a high price and high quality PPF job, they'll actually remove the mirror to not have this line. They're at the top of the door, same thing. This was a budget-friendly PPF installation.
Some folks have heard of a clay bar. This is kind of like a clay bar, Ivan. We call it a clay towel. It's the quad fold perforated synthetic decontamination towel. So the contamination goes in between these little dots here. We've actually got the diamond weave on this side, so it holds a lot of moisture. So if you make a whoopsie, and we tell you no pressure, we fold it in fours, but if you decide to push really hard on it, actually the lubrication from the rinseless wash comes out, gives you extra lubrication to work with. Don't put any pressure on this, trust the process, but this is one of those products, if you're like, oh man, now I'm watching this channel, they've got a brush, they've got a sponge. This towel is something you're gonna want in your arsenal for your maintenance washes, not just for ceramic coating prep. Once a quarter minimum, I like to decontaminate my vehicle in this way. Just a great way to deep clean, exfoliate, whether it's a coated or non-coated car, and it's great on windshields and bug guts as well. Flipping the towel, every time I get to a new side, I'm on a new panel. So after 4 panels, I just redunk it back in my bucket, and my towel is clean once again. And we do want to do this on plastics as well.
Making sure to decontaminate the windows as well, very important. Let me get my little step here and I'll start the roof on this side while Nick finishes up his side. Then we can transfer over to his. Now the roof on this is gloss. It's as it was from the factory. Most of it is glass. But it still has contamination on it. Get that little shark fin. I leave the towel there. I put my bottle on the towel. It gives me a reference point where I stopped. I'll move my little platform. And now I know where to start over again. Hey Nick, while you're up there, is there something people can do to help this channel grow and to learn a little more about detailing?
Only if they like things that are free, and that's subscribe to the channel. You can just, press that little red button down below, subscribe. We offer 4 weekly long form videos, daily shorts. You're gonna learn something, I promise, and we're here for it.
We're gonna let the iron remover dwell just a little longer on the surface. While it's doing that, we'll clean the wheels and tires. I'm adding a bit of extra all clean because the tires have some tire dressing on them that's, let's say, a little funky. This one, because of the aerodynamic wheel covers, you don't have to worry about the barrels.
Aerodynamic wheel covers, you say?
That's what they're there for.
So it helps to get up on a ladder to rinse off a tall vehicle?
While I have the platform back here, yes. Next step in the decontamination process is water spot remover. Water spot remover is very important, especially with a matte surface, because water can dry on this quite easily and leave minerals behind. Even if you're using a spotless system, as you're driving down the road, you are picking up minerals. So we want to remove those minerals. The water spots, we actually don't see on a matte surface, or they're very difficult to see. So we don't know if it has water spots or not. But we know it has mineral contamination. We're about to remove it here. I'm not trying to get it everywhere. I just want a couple sprays on every panel. A vehicle this size, we might only use about an ounce, ounce and a half. Not that much. We just want to get it on the surface and then we're going to spread it with a towel. Now, water spot remover, we could have doused the whole surface with it and just let it sit there. That's not an effective way of using it, and it's not an efficient way of using it. You're going to take a minute or two with a rinseless dampened towel just to go over the surface. We're spreading and we're agitating and we're working in that water spot remover to the surface.
So you talked about an effective way of using it. If I didn't care about the price of my product, could I just douse it everywhere? Is it just about trying to save people money out there and use less product?
No, it's about getting a better job. Because by doing what we're doing here, the agitation is helping the water spot remover attack the minerals even better.
But if I'm going to agitate anyway, and I didn't care about how much it costs, could I spray half a bottle on the car?
If you wanted to, but...
But you're trying to save people money is what I'm saying.
It would, well, money and time. It's actually not going to help anything by doing that.
So just not even covering every surface, just a mist enough to get it on there, and then we're kind of getting every surface with the towel?
Right.
That's the whole concept? Okay.
Yeah, and we're not flipping the towel. That's a very important thing. We're not trying to remove it from the surface. We're trying to spread it over the surface. Now, if you have a coated vehicle, this is going to help bring that coating back. Sometimes after the winter, especially if you're in an area that they put salt on the roads, the sides of the vehicle are going to lose a bit of beating. They're going to lose a bit of that pizzazz that a coating gives you. This will help bring it back. For those of you that have never had a matte vehicle and you're considering one, this, when properly treated, is going to bead just as well as a gloss vehicle. It's going to have all the characteristics But one thing you need to know, if you get a scratch on a matte surface, you're done. You have to repaint it if it's paint, and if it's paint protection film like this, you need to replace that piece of PPF. There's no polishing out a scratch.
I actually have to finish off the windshield. You do not want to put your water spot remover towel back in your bucket. Why is that, Ivan?
Because, Nick, in your wash bucket, you might have your wash media. The acidic nature, the lactic acid from our water spot remover can actually damage that wash media. So we just rinse it out in clean water and then launder your towels accordingly. What's the next step, Nick?
Well, the next step is usually we rinse this off and we send you off on your merry way, right? We do a video just dedicated to the wash, but we actually respond to every single YouTube comment. And we've had a lot of them recently where you've asked, show me how to take care of my matte vehicle from start to finish. And so your YouTube comments prompt ideas for us. We're gonna rinse this off and then we'll show you what's next.
If your matte vehicle is getting a little difficult to dry, could be time to decontaminate it. Even your gloss vehicle. When you decontaminate it, it makes it so much easier to dry and to maintain. As Nick is drying the floor with a squeegee, time to start drying the vehicle.
We've got a big towel for a big car. Now this is the DIY Detail drying blanket, Ivan. It's a micro twist loop. Some people call it elephant skin. Everyone who's used it has called it a great towel, it seems like. People do love this towel. Again, it's like, we've shown them a bunch of stuff. Do they need the DIY Detail drying blanket, Ivan? I mean, can they just use a bath towel at home and call it a day?
Never use a cotton bath towel. Get a high quality microfiber. There's a few things with microfiber you want to look out for. First of all is the blend. You want to get a 70-30 blend, and you want to get a quality Korean microfiber towel. There are Chinese microfibers on the market. They're close, but they're not the same. The nice thing about the micro twist loop as well is it doesn't get caught on emblems. It's not going to rip the towel apart. And a decontaminated vehicle is such a pleasure to dry. Next step, Adhesion Promoter Polish. Adhesion Promoter Polish is going to help the coating to bond well to this matte surface. And we've always told you, never polish a matte surface. There's not enough abrasive in this to cause any issues with the matte surface. What it is going to do though is deep clean and make it ready to accept the coating. The app goes over every surface, the light bar, the headlights, the mat, you name it, it gets app. On a white vehicle, it's very hard to tell where you've been. If you want to know if you have enough app left in your pad, simply touch it to a black surface like this. I've got more than enough, I can keep going. I can also use the windows for the same effect.
You don't have to wait an hour, you don't have to wait 20 minutes. Literally with app, you can wait as long as you want essentially. Like you can wait up to a day or two, but really wiping it right away. Ivan, do you have any best practices for how and when to wipe?
Yes, when you feel like it. Basically between immediately and 48 hours later, you're fine. And then for the coating application though, we do have a very stringent timeline for that. Between immediately and 48 hours as well.
We're moving with a dry towel. I like Nick's favorite glass towel. Also, we jokingly call it Nick's favorite app removal towel. You can use a Freebird 400. If you're like, what are these towels? Go to DIYdetail.com. We got links in the description below. We have a lot of great distributors. Not hard to find these products at all. We try to make it very clear and easy. I know it seems like there's a lot of gadgets. As far as this machine goes, you can get yourself a cheap palm sander at Harbor Freight. No need to overinvest on the app polishing.
But you do need a very specific product, and that is a 2 to 9 millimeter stroke. You don't want to use your long stroke DA, and you don't want to use your rotary on this. So 2 to 9 millimeter stroke. Like Nick said, you can go to a discount store and pick up a low-cost palm sander. They actually do a great job for this. On this piece of glass, I can see that I'm almost out of adhesion promoter polish on my pad, so I'm gonna reload. If we go to this piece of glass, that's what it should look like. When you're done with your app pad, simply clean it like any other pad. We're gonna use the pad washer, clean it, let it dry. It'll be ready for the next time. Bit of rinseless wash. Ready to go the next time.
Ivan, it's time.
It is. We're gonna be using our 5-year ceramic coating on this. The one coating in our lineup that I would not recommend on a matte vehicle is our Hydrate. The Hydrate, spectacular coating, but it's actually gonna make this glossy, so we don't wanna do that. Our 5-year coating is our top of the line coating when it comes to matte surfaces. It will do a phenomenal job. It's gonna make the water bead like crazy. It's gonna make it much, much easier to clean, and it's gonna stop it from staining, which is one of the problems with a matte surface. Again, you can't polish a matte surface. If you get a bird dropping on it and it etches it, you're done. If it's a matte painted car, that's even worse. On a matte wrap or a matte PPF, you can remove that piece that's damaged, put a new one on. Like as an example, there's some rock chips here. So if someone wanted to, if the owner of this vehicle gets tired of seeing those rock chips there, the solution is to put a new PPF on the hood. If this were painted though, that's a much bigger concern. Now, since this is a matte paint protection film, Nick is gonna be leveling just a little bit sooner than we normally do, because if we let it go too long, it can start being a little blotchy.
We don't want to let it become a high spot because you can't polish off a high spot.
No.
You never polish matte paint or it turns shiny. So
right.
We get it on and we get it off.
Right, so I start with 8 to 10 drops on my applicator. I'm gonna start on the other side of the hood and we'll work our way around this way. And the reason we do that, we're both right-handed. That way, as I'm applying, I'm not in his way leveling. Now, if we're both left-handed, we go the other way. And if you have a left-handed and a right-handed person, well, fight it out, see who wins. Now, in the application, you have to be extremely methodical to make sure you don't miss anything. White is one of the most difficult colors to coat, and matte white is even worse because you literally can't tell where the coating has been. But I can feel it with the applicator. If I go back where I've been, it feels much smoother than where I haven't been. Give me a second here, Nick, to get over to the center.
I struggle with being methodical, Ivan.
And that's why I'm applying.
But I'm following you.
Yeah.
With the level 1 towel first, and then the Freebird 400 and knock it down as my insurance wipe.
And how's that feeling for you?
You know, it's a little bit different than regular paint. It seems like it's really going very easily. Whereas normally with our 5-year, we do give it a little bit of time before we level. This seems to be leveling really nice.
With our instant bond technology, Nick can literally level right behind me.
Yep, and that's what I'm honestly doing, just because I'm worried that if I don't literally go right behind you, I'm gonna forget something or miss a spot. That's not proper technique, that's just me knowing me. And you know, we don't wanna leave any high spots.
No.
So I'm just literally level 1 towel first, boom. Freebird 400 second. Very simple, great finish, feels nice. And I always level outside of the lines because I know you're gonna apply a little outside the lines.
Yep.
So I'm gonna level outside of the lines of that hood just to make sure.
So the upper part of the door, Nick, including the mirror, 2 to 3 drops per section. Now a matte surface is gonna absorb the coating a little more because of that extra surface area. I'm boxing in this fender, going all the way around, and then I fill it in with circular motions. And this is something that you go by feeling more than anything else. Applying to a matte surface, especially a matte white, is going by feeling. And you can feel it in the applicator if you're going back over a section where you've coated. It immediately feels slick. So you're not repeating yourself, but you want to make sure that you're getting everywhere. And Nick, when he's leveling, if I were to have missed a spot, he would feel it as well. So I box in the door, then I fill it in with circular motions. Making sure to go past the edges. That way we're sure we have it everywhere. Get in and around the letters here.
Usually I'm way behind you, Ivan.
Yeah.
Feels nice to just be right there. So right now I can tell you there's a different feeling on the door we haven't coated. My towel is slicker on this door. But I don't see a big change in appearance at all, Ivan. I mean, we're not changing the appearance of the mat. Maybe a slight richer look, but it's so hard to tell. I mean, it's almost negligible, if noticeable at all.
Right, but when you touch it, you really notice it.
Right, and that's the whole idea. We're protecting it. We're not, you chose matte for a reason. You already like the look of matte. We're not altering that by more than just a minuscule. If you didn't tell me it was coated, I wouldn't know. And that's kind of the idea.
Yeah.
As far as the visual.
So the whole upper part of the door again, Nick. The reason I'm going back and forth like this gives Nick time to level. I can apply to the next section, and we're not in each other's ways, and we're not applying to too big of a section at a time.
Yeah, I kind of think of everything here. I'm spreading with this. I'm not doing all my work with the level one. It's like spreading some butter on bread. And then I am doing a decent amount of work with this Freeboard 400. That's where I'm really knocking down any potential high spots. Definitely an insurance wipe with the Freeboard 400, but it's more than insurance. It's part of the leveling process for sure. Okay, so we're back to
the lower part of the door.
Lower part of the door, got it. So I'm spreading the excess coating. I'm going outside the lines, Ivan.
That's a good thing.
And I'm finishing the job. The Freeboard 400. Outside the lines, boom.
So when we're applying, you can actually see the coating a little bit there. Now there's a few remaining drips of water here that I'm getting before applying. So when you have an area like the trunk, the hatch, etc., that could have drips, just before you apply the coating, go over it, make sure you're getting all those areas dry. It's not gonna be catastrophic if you get a drop on your applicator, but at the same time, you don't wanna take the risk. How's it looking, Nick?
Looks great. I was just doing the 10-foot away look, and it's just got a nice matte sheen to it, Ivan.
Yeah, and on this piano black, it's just sparkling now. And the roof on this is all glass and piano black, so it's gonna be a nice treat to do. On the piano black, you can really see the coating going on. So again, here I'm gonna go down to the body line. That way Nick has a reference to go by. And you can see it on this glass, what the coating looks like. So you can see it in areas it's actually starting to cross-link and cure. When 50% of this gets back to clear, that's when it's time to level.
But you could level beforehand if you don't mind a little bit of a wet towel, Ivan.
Right, so on the white, you can actually see the coating as well.
So I'll wipe that. I think it's about time to level the piano black as well.
And there's a spot there that either you have a high spot or I missed a spot. I missed a spot, yeah.
Where?
Not on the window, on the, right here. So normally I'm putting 2 to 3 drops on the applicator. On the matte surface, I'm putting 3 to 4. So you are gonna use a little more coating, but not dramatic difference. So again, box in, go around the edge, and then fill in with circular motions. When your applicator starts feeling grabby, that's when it's time to add a couple more drops to the applicator. You shouldn't be applying pressure to the applicator, and on horizontal surfaces, it's sometimes when you're like this, look how my arm is bent, not comfortable. You put your hand the other way in the applicator, then it becomes a lot easier for you. Get these signature Rivian lights. I like to carry a towel with me to pick up drips. The front end on just about every vehicle, you're gonna get drips coming out of, and that's why we wait basically until last to do the front end. That way, any water that's in there can have evaporated, and if we do pick up a bit of water on an applicator, we're not gonna be spreading it to the rest of the vehicle. So it's my first time coating a Rivian, and they're a very nice vehicle, but some of the finishes are very exquisite, like these anodized aluminum tow hooks here. I wouldn't be wrapping a chain around those hooks. They're too nice.
Ivan, as I'm leveling the roof here, I think we need some tire shine on this thing to really complete the job.
Definitely need some tire dressing, but before, what to do with your applicator. When you're done with your applicator, put it in your wash bucket. Let it sit there for 15, 20 minutes, then wring it out. You can launder it as normal, and you can reuse the applicators. Same thing with the towels that Nick is doing. Tire dressing, a must for every detail. Gives you that final touch. With our brush, it makes it easy to go around the edge without touching the wheel. Gets in all these nice little lines here. And even if there's a little moisture left on the tire, not a big deal. It's a water-based dressing. If you want a glossier look, do a second coat after 15 minutes. And if you want a matte look, install, wait a minute or two, and then wipe it with a microfiber towel. Now, if you have very old tires that are extremely brown, and no matter how much washing you do, you don't get that brown off, one easy trick is put the tire dressing on, wait a few minutes, level it, and then put a second coat on. Nick's leveling towels, we're putting in our wash bucket. That way, it stops the cross-linking of the coating, the towels get laundered as normal, and they'll be fine the next time. Finish drying the wheels with a spray or two of Envy, and then we have a completed detail.
There comes a time in every detail where you just stand back in satisfaction. Now, it's inefficient to stand back in satisfaction every 10 minutes. I've been that person before. You don't want to waste too much time standing back and enjoying it, or you never get the job done. But now's the right time to just kind of look at it and be like, wow, we did this, Ivan.
Yeah, and
it does have a little sheen, nothing crazy. It just looks clean. It looks like, does it look like new matte? Does that make sense? It has a,
yes.
It just has a look that doesn't say shiny, but it says like nice. Like it kind of gives that luxurious matte look that I think you're probably after in the first place.
Right, and matte paint, matte PPF, matte wrap, treat them all the same. Treat them like you do your gloss paint. The only difference is no polishing. So no gold standard polish.
Would you treat this the same as just regular PPF? Like if your whole vehicle were PPF, hypothetically.
Yes.
Some people spend a lot of money, they get the entire thing PPF. You do the same process, right?
Exactly the same.
It's PPF over your paint.
Yep. That's all it is. So don't be afraid of a matte surface. Don't be hesitant to get a matte vehicle if you like the look of a matte vehicle. Don't be afraid of it. You don't need special products. You just need to be a little more cautious when it comes to the polishing aspect of it. That's why we used Adhesion Promoter Polish. We also didn't use panel prep on this because panel prep, because of the solvent in it, can maybe affect an edge. We don't want to do that.
Take old PPF, spray panel prep on it, and find out what happens. I mean, you never know with old PPF either.
You don't know.
You don't usually spray panel prep on paint. We usually say spray it on a towel first. But I've been the guy who sprayed it right on the paint before, and I've been the guy who sprayed it on a towel, and especially if it's old PPF, you could scar that PPF. I mean, it gets really weird. So old PPF is a whole different ballgame.
Right.
But you do want to protect your matte car. You do want to protect your PPF.
Yes.
Ceramic coatings on PPF are okay. There's going to be a PPF company that says never ceramic coat your PPF, Ivan. What do you say to them?
Probably they've never tried it themselves. Because yes, you do want to ceramic coat your PPF, whether it be matte or glossy. It just improves it, makes it last longer, and it's a lot safer. Now, older coatings, I'm talking 20 years ago, the solvents in them could actually damage PPF. Today's coatings were far, far removed from that. Now, if you like a glossy vehicle, have we got a glossy one for you right here.